agriculture sector is currently the second source of employment in the country, and today arises as one of the most competitive sectors for leading multinational enterprises that are looking to get a foothold in Southeast Asia, specifically within the scope of the agribusiness. It has been said that the main differentiating factor about the Philippines is its workforce. To evaluate this further, our next dual dialogue will be moderated by the president of New York-based KWR International, an Asia-focused consulting and business development practice. With over 30 years of public-private sector experience, he specializes in an array of fields such as agriculture, energy, and infrastructure. Please welcome Keith Rabin.
So I'm going to introduce you to Gil de los Reyes, the Secretary of Agrarian Reform, and John Huenemann, who's the Vice President of Philip Morris International for U.S. and International Corporate Affairs.
Keith, I think the one thing about agriculture in the Philippines is that it has pretty much remained a black hole for a lot of investors, particularly those from outside. But there's a lot of opportunities in agriculture in the Philippines which are undiscovered. There are several companies that have come into, and the braver ones who have come in to unravel the black hole. And just like the discussion with Director Diaz of Land Bank, I think the most important issue about agriculture, and that's a message which I wanted to put up in my slide earlier, was that if you want to go to agriculture in the Philippines, you invest in people, don't look for land.
In 2010, we acquired a domestic company which expanded pretty significantly our foothold in the Philippines. The Philippine agricultural complex is characterized by small landowners, small plots, and in fact, in so doing, in embracing this, we took a whole sustainability approach and a very broad scale approach to not only looking at the relationship literally one by one with the farmers, in contractual terms, and we are increasingly moving to direct contracting with very small landowners. We have brought in a holistic approach, as I alluded to earlier, which involves providing the farmers a variety of different inputs at our cost. And that includes financing, which we offer the farming community, the small landowner, to provide for inputs, etc. Tobacco is now, in terms of return to the farmer, the highest return crop in the Philippines.
What we have proven in the past 2 years is that it is not consolidated land ownership that brings about reduction of production cost and increase of incomes, but it really is the organization of the farmers. It's the organization that brings about the economies of scale to the buyer and to the producer rather than land ownership. And I think that is the greatest argument about land reform being an opportunity for diversifying the opportunities for the people in farming. So I think that's one big issue.
So we're extremely hopeful and very much committed to agricultural development and agrarian income generation in our operations all across the Philippines.
I mean, the national government, the DPWH, Public Works and Highways, is done with almost all the national roads. We're now moving into the local roads. And the question for us is, which comes first? And I think the answer of the Department of Agriculture and Department of Agrarian Reform here is that we will put the infrastructure where there is a bigger bang for the buck for both the farmers and the investors. The Agrarian Reform collection system that Ingo talked about is a great opportunity for financial inclusion to bring in the smallholder farmers into the formal credit system. We're moving towards credit scoring of smallholder farmers. We're trying to revitalize the guarantee system and trying to do the insurance, the crop insurance, and diversify outside of rice. The basic role of government that we're trying to do now in agriculture is that it's an enabler rather than a regulator. I think that's been a sea change. It's coming late, but you see, the Philippines is not unique in trying to unravel the regulatory mechanisms in agriculture. All countries all over the world, in fact, even the issues on international trade, agriculture is always a laggard when it comes to opening up. And And we're no different.
We recognized some time ago that the Philippines provided both an opportunity in the sense that there was an investment opportunity to expand our business there. But then at the same time, we also recognize that the Philippines is a very important platform in the context of the South Asia region that we could build upon and very quickly and efficiently and effectively integrate that into the larger Asian supply chain.
Our idea is, if you're prepared to buy or you're prepared to go into a partnership, government is not a state trading enterprise. We are there to be able to enable you to link up and to lessen the information asymmetry on two sides, on the side of the investor and on the side of the smallholder farmer. We're open for business, and government is there to help you get into it, not to supplant your judgment.